Today, the first question which I'm going to talk about would be integration of sine x upon sine of x minus alpha. Now, you have to remember one thing, that the denominator cannot be split up as far as the fractions are concerned. Only the numerator can be done. Over here you see that in the denominator it is sine of x minus alpha, which using the trigonometrical identity would expand. So therefore you cannot split the denominator. That is why I am making the assumption that let x minus alpha be equal to t, which would imply dx will be equal to dt there. When you do the substitution, the function changes to sine of t plus alpha upon sine t. Now you can see that you can use the formula of sine of a plus b, which I have used over here, and I have written sine t cos alpha plus cos t sine alpha whole upon sine t. Now I have split this up. You can see when I do the splitting up of the fraction, I can do it only with the help of the numerator. So sine t gets cancelled off and I am left with cos alpha in the first part. And in the second part, it would be sine alpha comes outside as a constant and cos t upon sine t is nothing else but cot t. Now when I do the integration, again I take out cos alpha as a constant multiplier and inside I am left with only dt, and the other partner remains the same, that is sine alpha times integration of cot t dt. Now when I do the integration, I get cos alpha as a multiplier and integration of 1 dt would be just t, and the other one sine alpha remains as sine alpha, and integration of cot t is log of mod of sine t plus the c, which is the constant of integration. Now you are not allowed to leave the answers in the second variable form. You were given x as a variable, so answers have to be again changed by. So I get, on substituting for t as x minus alpha, the substituent which I had taken, x minus alpha cos alpha plus sine alpha times log of sine of x minus alpha there. Now you will notice that I have segregated the constants. That is, when I use the first bracket, that is x minus alpha, when I open it up, I get x plus sine alpha log of sine of x minus alpha plus, and in the other bracket all the constants have been clubbed together. That is, in the second bracket I have written c minus alpha cos alpha, and you know that the operations between the constants will always be another constant only. So therefore in the last line I have written that the answer would be x plus sine alpha log of mod of sine x minus alpha plus c1, where c1 is what? The new constant of integration, which is equal to c minus alpha cos alpha there. The next question which I am taking up is integration of tan cube x with respect to x. So therefore now see, in this one I have split up tan cube x as tan x times tan square x. Now replacing tan square x by sec square x minus 1, because I know the identity that 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta. Now I have opened the brackets and I have taken my tan x inside, which results into two parts now, that is tan x sec square x minus tan x there. When I integrate now, in the first one I have taken tan x as t, and so therefore sec square x dx becomes my dt, and using the formula now t to the power of n, I get my tan square x by 2. The second part is a direct one. Integration of tan x is simply log of sec x there plus c, which is the constant of integration. Now you know that the integration formula of tan x has got two forms. So therefore this was with the first form, that is integration of tan x is equal to log sec x. The other form is minus log of cos x. So therefore first answer I have written with sec, the other one I have written with cos. So my plus becomes now minus of minus log of cos x becomes positive there. So therefore another form of the answer could be tan square x by 2 plus log of cos x plus c. C is the constant of integration. Both the answers are absolutely right, only the forms are different. So you needn't worry if you give me the first option or the second one. The third question which I am taking up is, it is integration of dx by sin x cos square x. Now in the denominator it is sin x cos square x. So therefore for this I am going to replace my 1 in the numerator by the identity sin square theta plus cos square theta. So therefore I have written sin square x plus cos square x whole upon sin x cos square x dx. Now again, like I have said, only the numerator can be split up. So therefore I have divided into two fractions now. That the first one turns out to be sin square x dx whole upon sin x cos square x, and the second one turns out to be cos square x dx upon sin x cos square x. Then I have split up again as a product. In the first one you see one sin x gets cancelled off and I'll be left with sin x by cos square x. So I have written sin x by cos x 1 as tan x and 1 by cos x as sec x. So I am left with finally sec x tan x. Similarly in the denominator I see cos square x gets cancelled off and I am left with only 1 by sin x, which is nothing else but cosec x there. So integration of cosec dx is there. Now applying the direct formulas, both of them are direct forms. You know that the differentiation and integration are inverses of each other. The first one results in sec x. The second one is a direct formula. Integration of cosec x is nothing else but minus of log of cosec x minus cot x plus c. C is again the constant of integration. The next question which I have taken up is integration of dx upon under root of 1 minus sin x there. Now in this the typical part thing is that I have replaced it with the identity that cos of 90 plus theta gives me minus sin theta there. Because it goes in the second quadrant and in the second quadrant cos is negative, so therefore minus sin theta. So I have replaced my sin x with that only. So I get 1 plus cos of pi by 2 plus x there. Now using the identity cos 2 theta, which is equal to 2 cos square theta minus 1, using that I am changing my denominator to 2 cos square pi by 2 plus x whole by 2 there. Now again I am simplifying it, taking my 2 inside, I get 2 cos square pi by 4 plus x by 2. Then the next step would be I have taken the under root. So under root of 2 remains as under root 2 and that of cos square becomes now cos of pi by 4 plus x by 2. Now this is of the form 1 by root 2 comes out as a multiplier, which is a constant, and I am left with only now integration of sec of pi by 4 plus x by 2 dx. That's a direct formula now. Now 1 by root 2 remains as such, and using my substitution, when I do the integration of sec would be log of sec of pi by 4 plus x by 2 plus tan of pi by 4 plus x by 2, and you can see x by 2 has a multiplier 1 by 2, so that 2 goes up and your answer simplifies to root 2 times log of sec of pi by 4 plus x by 2 plus tan of pi by 4 plus x by 2 plus c, which is the constant of integration. The next question which I have taken up is question number 9, which says that if the integration of root 2 sin x upon sine of x minus pi by 4 dx is equal to ax plus b log of sine of x minus pi by 4. Then you have to find the value of a and b there. Like I say that you cannot split the denominator, so therefore my denominator should have the least number of terms. So that is why I have assumed over here x minus pi by 4 as t, which gives me dx equals to dt. And I can make my x also over here as a subject, which will give me t plus pi by 4. And when I do the substitution, my function now changes to root 2 sine of t plus pi by 4, and the denominator simply becomes sine t. Now you can see numerator can be expanded using the identity of sine of a plus b. So I have written that sine t cos pi by 4 plus sine pi by 4 cos t. And now you can substitute the value of sine pi by 4 and cos pi by 4, which you know is 1 by root 2 each. I have done that only. And then in the next step, I have taken my root 2 inside. When you do that, root 2 throughout gets cancelled off and you are left with only sine t plus cos t whole upon sine t. And now I have split this up. Sine t upon sine t gives me 1 and cos t upon sine t gives me cot t. Now this is again a direct expression over here. Integration of 1 gives me t and integration of cot t gives me log of sine t plus the c there, which when I substitute the value, like I said earlier also, you cannot leave your answer in the second variable, you have to be in the original format. So therefore x minus pi by 4 plus log of sine of x minus pi by 4 plus c it is now. Now t can be written as 1 into x, sorry, the x can be written as 1 into x, and the log thing also can be written as 1 into this, plus again I have clubbed my pi by 4 and c together to give me another constant over here. So I can see when I do the comparison with the right hand side of the question given to me, I see a is in place of 1, b is in place of 1, and for c I have c minus pi by 4 there. But the question was asking only about a and b, so the answer would be a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 1.